Got 5 overpowered builds that are using the best weapons and perks for you guys to play with, or be the top player in your lobby. Payday 2 is finalizing its updates, so I figured these builds before Payday 3 should help get your DSOD achievements done, as well as what is up to date and best in the current game. This video will have the Legacy Collection Pack, as well as all the up-to-date DLC within Payday 2. I have a video here showcasing all the latest DLC after the Legacy Collection, so if you want some more OP stuff, or what's from this video, check it out with the link below. Console users can use a couple of builds here, or adjust accordingly. I wanted some personal taste to these builds, as they are a lot of fun for me. Others who try these builds have enjoyed using them, and come back saying it helped their DSOD games. Unfortunately, one category of weapons didn't make the list here: shotguns. They received many nerfs in the past now, they can't keep up to the onslaught of these stronger weapons. Another thing to add is these builds all require infamy, so get to level 100 and hit that button in your inventory. For those on PC, I also recommend you turn on Motion Dot for a free crosshair to help with aiming in-game. Turn this on via options, then the accessibility menu. While I go over these builds, I will give some pointers on using the deck for any newbies out there. All mods and attachments will be in the description of the video, as I didn't want to plague this video with every tiny detail. These will be the top perks from the tier list I put together on my DSOD guide, where you can find more helpful heist tips and tricks. Starting with number 5 is a typical Anarchist zerk build. With Anarchist, the more damage you output, the better armor regen you have. We're using a simple zerk setup for this build. Start the heist, throw a Molotov down, break the armor that you have, take 5 health hits, pause for 1 armor regen, and take 2 more hits. Only needs a bit of practice, then it's super easy after. I got more examples here on my How to Zerk video with the Molotov setup, as well as any Anarchist video I have on YouTube. After that, all you need to do is get a Joker. This gives Anarchist more HP, which is more armor, as well as team support for aggro on cops. I kept Bullseye on this build given how it has saved me many times in the past, not just the 2 seconds of armor suit regeneration, and the gaining 30 armor upon dealing damage. Onto the weapon, the Lebensauger. Overkill did super buffs to this thing, overpowering the Contractor in many ways. More ammo reserve, more ammo pickup, faster reload, and a bigger magazine. I have old videos on this gun, but now it is nearly impossible to run out of ammo on this thing. Snipers with Graze is great for clearing the map from super far ranges and angles, as well as any wall bangs or shield clearing. Graze is amazing with the Contractor or Lebensauger, or any sniper in reality. All you need to do is add Berserker to have that extra damage. Then these 2 snipers are high damage dealing speed machines. One well aimed headshot can clear hallways faster than any other weapon in the game. This build having crits, zerk, high value target, and team support, it's just great for powerhousing enemies. Just use the Krinkov SMG for dozer melting. Next with number 4, CopyCat. A perk with so much customizability where you can increase your armor, health, or dodge while taking a key aspect of another perk deck. For this build, we're focusing on boosting the grinder aspect for huge healing and sustain. You could play this perk with biker or some other perk aspect, but we're going to be using the overpowered gas grenades here to lock down spawn points and make huge areas to gain that grinder healing. Similar to the last build, we're also going to get a Joker, as well as some first aid kits. Rest of the build will be using a Deagle and some pistol skills with lots of crits. The first click on the pistol won't kill, but once trigger happy is in place, the rest will one-shot heavy cops from the damage bonus. Crits can help the startup shot, but they're mainly used for the specials and dozers you come across. Once you make 10 kills with the pistol, the Piglet gas launcher will automatically reload, so it is mainly meant for crowd clearing, shield removing, or huge healing on the map. So much healing you can seriously tank hard with this build. CopyCat with grinder aspect has the same HP as muscle, but it's better in my opinion. Combine this with a crew chief and a bot boost, you can get up to 766 health. CopyCat also gets 10 HP healing for every headshot you make, making this build great for head clicking. Best part, if your health falls under half, you get 2 seconds of invulnerability, so you can use a first aid kit or get back into cover. Overkill made this deck fun and pretty strong, and with this setup you can easily take a lot of heat for the team and still perform great. As for number 3, I put Kingpin, but Overkill stopped selling this perk, so I'm not going to showcase this build entirely here for it. Either you get yourself some funny means of unlocking this deck, or check out my previous Kingpin videos. But if you want something OP for it, just bring some ammo bags and a commando launcher. I'll leave the build link in the description for the build. So, for number 3 we're using Stoic. This deck has been reliable from the get-go. The way Stoic works is armor gets converted to health. Heavier armor and heavier weapons have been pretty standard for Stoic, but we're going to be using the Rodion rifle with some crits. By pressing the V key to change the fire mode to volley, this thing turns into the best DMR rifle, assuming you have 100 accuracy. It will spend 3 bullets and combine that damage, which is enough to headshot a heavy unit in the head. Remember that motion dot? With 88 accuracy and 12 from fire control, we have a laser to headshot everything with. Volley mode and this gun and 100 accuracy, you now have an easy point and click adventure. Stoic doesn't need bullseye, so we can spend more points for jokers, healing, and first aid kits, and some diehard for more armor. With shock and awe, we can use a secondary SMG for a nice backup to take care of shields and other specials. This build truly has it all for great support and staying in the fight. However, one major thing to note in this build is it has quick fixed ace and inspire ace. Please clear the area and double check before you revive a player because they will not receive the benefits that Painkillers has. I have a detailed video here showcasing critical differences that Painkillers and Inspire Ace does. Quick Fix Ace is meant for reducing damage from enemies on this build. We just have enough points for Inspire Ace to help the team faster. For the second spot, we're using the best perk in the game, Leech. Despite Leech with more utility and crazy amount of ways you can set up the deck, it's not earning that number 1 spot here in this build video. But we will make it very strong with the Akron LMG. With first aid kits, you can never die with the deck. Otherwise with medic bags and Messiah, you're basically unkillable. But aren't those the same things? Anyways, let me explain how Leech works. When you use the ampule, your health turns into 10 chunks for 10 seconds. Any damage you take removes a chunk. Unless it is 200 damage or more, then it removes 2 chunks. Since enemies in this game primarily do 225 damage, we will always assume 2 chunks, unless you have a crew chief in the party to help reduce that damage. When you use the ampule, you restore 4 chunks, and making 2 kills restores 1 chunk with 1 second invulnerability. But you're still alive if you have 0 chunks left during the 10-second ampule duration. So you have 2 options. Use a first aid kit, whether it was proc from uppers or used normally, to prevent that down, or make 2 kills before that timer runs out. Now for the unkillable part. If you are downed, you can use the Leech ampule to self-revive yourself. During this time, you have 10 seconds to revive another player, which having Inspire Ace helps, or use a medic bag. That way you won't go back down. With Messiah and Feign Death, you can re-roll those chances again with Leech. Also, any damage you take during the ampule effect, your teammates also get some healing. So you can see why this deck is incredibly strong. The Akron also comes with the Rodion, so using the exclusive set on the Akron, we have the ultimate crit killing LMG. Body expertise and an AP pistol to deal with shields, you don't have to worry too much about aiming. With all the high killing potential, you can play this build normally without abusing self-revive mechanics if you run out of medic bags. The idea of this build is more of a solo selfish playstyle, just like a Leech. Stockholm Syndrome, Messiah, Feign Death, Swan Song. With these skills you can get away with a lot of bullshit in this game. The Akron high killing aspect keeps the throwable uptime very high as well. This build is almost illegal. For the top spot, the highest carry and the easiest build to play with is Hacker using Akimbo CR805s. Give these things ammo, crits, and some body expertise, and it cleans heist with ease. This build doesn't have Inspire, and you won't need it either. If you're killing lots, it has all the team support anyone needs. Also, it has room for a couple of jokers for more team support. Hacker comes with a reoccurring stun, so the more mobile you are, the better. You heal yourself 20 health per kill you make. and get some extra dodge too. 20 dodge for 30 seconds to be precise. Your team benefits from the healing too. 10 health per kill they make during the ECM effect. Despite Hacker having less utility than Leech, the support aspect is huge, and taking the CR805s with ammo, you can keep killing and have the map completely wiped. Just make sure to tell your team not to take your 60-second bullet storm when the ammo bag is super low. Now, I know it might be confusing why Leech is a better perk overall compared to Hacker, and that's because Leech has more utility and is easier for newer players or those still struggling in Payday 2. Hacker is only better if you are killing more cops. So players that know a couple of spawn points and a bit of map knowledge makes it the #1 build in the game. Well, at least in my perspective. But all the builds here in this video will easily carry through anything that comes your way. Once again, for this build, the AP pistol secondary is meant for the shields. If Payday 2 doesn't get updated, these builds will remain ridiculously overpowered. I'm sure there's slight variations you guys can make, but I'm not going to hassle what's best when you change out too many things. Thankfully, some of the builds here aren't DLC needy, so it's up to you how much you need for your game. The Legacy collection goes on sale frequently, so I'm not sure if they'll make a new collection of DLCs in the future. Anyways, that's enough rambling. This is going to be my major last Payday 2 video. I provided lots of other builds, stuffs, lecture material, and helpful guides for everyone and myself to learn. And if anyone has any questions or needs more help, I'm always happy to do so, whether it's on my Twitch or my Discord. Thank you all for watching, and until then, I'll see you next time.